Hello, friends. Please consider supporting the Flavors and Knowledge podcast. Donated proceeds are applied to absorb the cost of cooking classes and health education for children. Help a child affected with diabetes with a sponsorship donation toward adequately managing the condition through Food First. Chef Walter's Children Diabetes Foundation brings this message. Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Flavors and Knowledge, the food learning podcast, where we strive for honest food talk and a few opinions. I'm Chef Walter. In this episode, I really want to share a tested recipe of the classic zuppa di pasta e fagioli, the beans and pasta soup, which, as you know, it's very popular in Italy in many of the regions, but especially in Naples. This family recipe is a courtesy of my beloved mother's collection, and when she passed away in 1995, I found several handwritten pamphlets in her kitchen. She wrote her notes in dialect, and converting them was challenging. But I wanted to share with you, so let's begin with the pasta and beans, as my mother would make it. And let's see, if I walk you through this, maybe you can duplicate it, and I am sure it's going to be very good for you. We're going to make it for 6 people, so this is a list of ingredients for 6. 1 cup of dried white beans, preferably cannellini. 6 cups of bottled water. Please do not use the faucet water. 1 medium-sized prosciutto ham knuckle, or 3 ounces of diced pancetta, even bacon, but please, I'm reminding you, plain bacon and not the smoked type. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. 2 medium-sized white skin onion, minced. 1 garlic clove with the skin on, crushed, and remove the garlic after the cooking. 1 stalk of celery, washed, peeled, and cut in half-inch dice. 1 teaspoon of sea salt, but it is, of course, all subjective to your taste. A dash of white pepper, no black pepper in this particular application. Half a cup of tubettini pasta, or something similar. Even broken up spaghetti will do the job. And lastly, 1 tablespoon of fresh Italian parsley, and here again, minced. As far as the procedures, soak the beans in cold water overnight. Always add about 2 inches of water above the bean level. As you know, the legume will expand. Drain the beans and wash once again, removing any possible dry skin or impurities that may surface to the top. Place the beans in a deep pot and cover with 6 cups of cold water. When the water reaches the initial boil, add the ham knuckle. Cover the pot with a fitted lid and continue cooking on a medium to low fire. Stir occasionally and gently with a wooden spoon. Cook for about 2 hours or until the beans appear tender. Of course, you can cheat by using canned beans, washed and sodium removed, but the overall taste and the product will vary. At this point, puree half of the beans in a food processor using the cooking water from the bean itself, and return the puree portion to the soup pot. Be careful here not to splatter all over yourself. Heat olive oil for about 20 seconds in a sautéed pan, adding the onion, the garlic, and the celery. Cook until soft, for about 10 minutes, I would say. Do not brown the vegetable. This is also known as sofrito base, the same word that is used in Latin American for the foundation of a dish, sofrito. Soft cooking will release all the necessary minerals from the base and will provide a sweet-driven fragrance. And if you're using pancetta instead of the prosciutto ham knuckle, you can render the fat with the onion, the garlic, and the celery in this stage. At this point, add the sofrito mixture to the bean pot. Adjust the flavor with salt and a dash of white pepper to your preference. Continue to cook the soup for 30 more minutes, allowing the flavor to blend completely. If you find the liquid to thicken, you may add some water as you go. You may also need the extra water for the pasta cooking, which you will add 8 minutes before serving. Avoid overcooking the pasta, as the starch will thicken the soup considerably. And lastly, add the parsley and finish the pasta fagioli with a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on top. You can serve it hot with a thick slice of rustic Italian bread broken up in pieces within the soup, or you can even consume it tomorrow when it's cold. I've had it cold plenty of time, and it was equally delicious. As you know, the soup during the night has a tendency to also expand into additional flavors. I'm going to put the recipe on this podcast and the show notes so that you can print it and keep it. And that is all for this particular episode on pasta fagioli as my mother would make it. Please follow this podcast on Anchor.fm or any of your preferred platform, and follow us on YouTube under the Chef Walter's Cooking School page for a brief educational videocast. If you're in for a new vacation, you may want to consider our food and culture tours in Italy, and that is listed under the flavorsknowledgetours.com. If you are in a kitchen today or tonight making this wonderful pasta fagioli alla napoletana, always keep your eyes on the fire, and we reconnect on the next round with another interesting food talk, fewer opinions, but please always invest in your health with food. Stay well. Ciao, ciao.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.